Hey guys, chances are if you're watching this video, you're having the same problem I had. This is the Feiyu G4S with a camera tilt problem. So I've had this thing since December of 2015, got it out of the box, messed with it, worked great, put it away, wait for vacation to come around. Well, a few vacations came and went, I never used it. Last year, I decided I was going to use it, pulled it out, fired it up, the thing initialized, started out great, and then I could just slowly see it start to dip, just a little bit. Well, I didn't have time to mess with it at the time, so I just put it away and forgot about it. I'm getting ready to go on vacation. I want to use it, forgot all about the camera issue, fired it up. Oh yeah, well, I've got time now. I'm gonna figure it out. I went onto YouTube. I want to say a lot, but there's not a whole lot of videos on it, but they're all good videos. But none of them fixed my problem. I Googled the issue. There's not a whole lot out there. There's some forums out there with some helpful information. I looked up when I first thought it was going to be the software firmware. I went to the Feiyu website. First off, MacBook users, you're out of luck. I do have a PC too, so I tried that. I think I had better luck on my MacBook because actually on one of the videos, the guy was using Windows 8, kind of followed the same lines on my MacBook. It called out the dongle. I was able to follow through most of the steps per his video. Windows 7, nothing. Didn't follow along at very good. I realized that I was kind of spinning my wheels. A lot of people had said the software firmware updates didn't fix the problem. So let's try and figure out another route. When I was looking up the software firmware, there was a manual. I pulled it up. There was a section on calibration, same as I've seen on some of the YouTube videos that I had done numerous amounts of times. Several different ways, thinking that I was doing it wrong, just kept doing it. Every time I'd wake it back up, it would tilt. It wouldn't tilt, it would just come back to a tilt, I should say. In the manual, it did have a little segment down at the bottom that would tell you you could use the joystick, hit the button 6 times, use the joystick, and you could fix the tilt. Well, I had messed with that earlier and kind of messed it up because it went from this to this. It was clearly messed up. So I went to the Feiyu video, the gimbal initialization and adjustment video, and kind of went through that. It's got English subtitles on there. So at first I kind of passed it off. I went on to the other videos, but I went back to it and I watched it all the way through. And it's got the GoPro set up and it's got the smartphone set up, so it kind of jumps between the two of them. So the first step, calibration, which I've done a million times, I'll go ahead and do it again per the video. Now, they say to lay it on a flat surface. Well, we've got these clips on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. So it's going to allow the camera to sit on one side or the other of that tab. Well, that's all when I started, that's all that my camera was off. Is that the issue? Could be. Once I've took the clip off and set it on the camera, but I thought, if this thing's going to be calibrated, it needs to be flat. So I got a couple of pins, set it down. It's flat. Well, as flat as it's going to be. I tried Tic Tac boxes. They're too thick. Not much thicker than the pins, but it kept failing on the calibration. So I went through the calibration on this. I laid it down, like I said. I picked it up, started it, held down the button once it started for a second. It started blinking 3 times. Set it back down, pressed the button for 3 times. Light went solid, and then started blinking. Done. Picked it up. The thing was in standby mode. Hit the button again, woke it up, back to being crooked. But then the video goes on. After it goes through the next segment of the smartphone, it will show you that you need to set the camera down, push the button 6 times, it'll start rapidly flashing. Just like the manual, but then they show you on the video what direction to move the joystick. In their video, the camera was up and they put the joystick to the left. Mine was to the right, camera side down, so I moved the joystick to the right. Well, this is where I think I went wrong, because when I started, the camera was at a slight tilt, and before I got to this process, the camera was tilted. I mean, it was bad. So I started to mess with the buttons, and I have a piece of pine back here with the grains running horizontal. I could never see when I tried it earlier, and I probably tried this 2 or 3 times. I couldn't see the tilt even working. Something's broken there. It's just, something's wrong. Well, I went ahead and fixed a point on the pine, on one of the pieces of grain, and I started moving the button. Now, whether you hold the joystick or you keep clicking it, I kept clicking it. Now, at first I went straight to the right. Didn't seem to work. I thought maybe there's a contact in there somewhere that it's got to hit, so I kind of went up and then down and then back to center and did it again. That's when I started to see the camera just start to move. I mean, it's so small. If you held it up like I did, you're never going to see it. If it's sitting on a surface and there's something against the back that you can gauge that camera on, that's when you're going to see it. I was able to put the camera back up level. I didn't have a bubble level like they suggested, because I wasn't ready, A, to fix it, and B, I didn't know if I was going to be able to fix it. It was just going to be a paperweight. So I did it by eye. I shut it off, turned it back on, it initialized and stayed level. So I walked around the house, went outside, made a few laps, the batteries died. Perfect. Let's put in some new batteries and see if this thing stays. I put in the new batteries, started it up, went right back to level. So between the directions that Feiyu has on their downloads and the Feiyu video, YouTube video, that's where you can fix it. A lot of good information out there the YouTube guys got out there. Just didn't fix my problem, but hopefully this helps you. Good luck.